I'm just looking to put a little bit more light and accent lighting in my wheel wells, and I think I figured out what I'm going to do. I'm going to put these rock lights on here by Oracle, and these are their color shifting rock lights, which means they're going to change color. We stopped by A&A Auto Stores in Dallas, PA. Pat recommended the Oracle lighting kit for trucks, and there's 8 lights in this, so we're going to be putting 2 pods in each wheel well. But if you're new to the channel, hit that like, comment, subscribe button. Don't forget to ring that notification bell so you guys can stay posted when we drop videos like this and do mods on other vehicles. Check out all the links in the description, and let's head on over to the table, do a little unboxing, and we're going to do a test run before we put these on here to make sure they're working. These are the Oracle Lighting ColorShift 8-piece Bluetooth and RF LED light kit. Why I picked this light kit is because it comes with 8 pods. It's Bluetooth compatible, meaning that you could change the colors and the patterns through your phone, or you could also use the preset remote control that comes with it. And here's a little description on what you get in the back and some of the specs on it. So let's open this up and see what's in here. Nice little sticker, warranty information, some instructions on what you get, and what you may need is the extension cable, because I believe on bigger vehicles you need to extend your cables. And looking at the boxes here, they're labeled 2.1, 3.1. So I believe the difference between the 2.1s and the 3.1s are that the cable is a little bit longer. So I'm assuming that the 3.1s are for the back of the truck, and we will get into that later on in the video. Opening up the first light pod, you have a light pod, and there's a bag in here. And inside this kit, they also give you some bushings on different ways you can mount this. And this must be the hardware for each light pod. So here are here's one of the bushings that they give you, and as you can see that it is grooved. So this will go against the mounting surface, and then your rock light will go on this side, and you could run your cable either up through, out the side, or diagonal. So that's pretty neat. I like that. And then there's another one in here. And this one is very similar to this one, but this one looks like you can mount this on a curved surface. So if you were to mount this on a roll bar or inside the vehicle, if you haven't mounted a Jeep, or if you have a cross member underneath your vehicle that's tubular, you can mount it to that, or on your ATV, I'm assuming. So same pattern, same way to run your wiring out the side. So that's pretty neat. You don't have to worry about any lighting. So if you end up mounting this on the roll bar, you could just run your wiring out the side and maybe down the roll bar or something like that. And then they give you some mounting hardware. So let's look into, this was the 2.1, let's look at a 3.1. And just by opening the box, I can believe that there is definitely a longer wiring. The light pods are the same. However, they are coated the same on the back. So it's safe to say that the 3.1s are the lights with the longer wiring. So we'll just put this off to the side, and also in that they also give you the mounting hardware. And it appears to be the same mounting hardware as you get in the 2-point ones. And then looking at the connector, here is your control box, which here's where all your wiring will connect to, and it's all simple plug and play. They do have tabs in here and little grooves, so whenever running lights you want to line up the grooves and look at the grooves, and then you'll just connect them together and then screw them fast. So here is another wire, and then here is your power source off of this side, and here is, okay, that's your controller, and then okay, the antenna will screw in here. Never knew they made these with an antenna. I guess that's for the Bluetooth or the controller. And I guess when you could adjust your antenna which way you need this, so when you have this mounted, depending on where you're mounting it, you could move your antenna to wherever you need to. And the controller is just your simple remote control, on, off, dimness of the light, make it brighter, your red, your green, your blues, your white, and then it goes down through the different colors. You could probably have it on, and then you have your pre-settings here. You could do the flash, the strobe, the fade, or just smooth. We'll have to check these out once it's all installed. And assuming that you just push that color, push your strobe, and it will strobe that. And the fade might be where it runs all between these 4 colors up top up here. So I'm going to finish emptying this box and then pulling out all the light pods, and then I'm going to hook them up to the controller, and we're going to pre-wire this to the truck off its battery, and we're going to do a little test to make sure this works properly. Well, I do have the pod lights all hooked up to its controller, and I do have a temporary hooked up to the battery, and all I did was ran 2 leads, as you can see here, one to the ground and one to the positive, and I'm looking at the lights, and yes, they are working. So it's safe to say that these are ready for the install. They're just going through all the different color sequences before you can mix and match them either on the controller or on your Bluetooth, and all the mounting hardware is the same. So the only thing that's left to do is find a spot on the 2nd Gen Ram show truck and get them all mounted up. Once you find the desired location of where you guys want to put your pod light, this is a tip that I have when installing these, is once I find a spot on the fender, and since we do not have wheel liners, we are going right through the fender itself. So what I do is once I find that location of where I like it, and I'm going by this tab here, and that way it's the same thing on the other side, is all I'll do is just tape the rubber grommet that it comes with, and that's where I'm going to put my pod light at, right along that edge there. And I found this the fastest way and the easiest way, the cleanest way of installing these. I'm at the bottom of this notch, and that looks like the desired location that I want it. So then I get my punch, and I just put my punch inside the hole, and I'll hit it. So that is where I'm going to be drilling at. I'll drill a pilot hole first. And I could remove this to make this a little bit easier. Then you have to go through the process again of holding it and punching it, removing it, which is not too bad. Or you could just leave it up there and drill it. But for making it clean, I'm going to pull my grommet off. And then I'm going to drill where I punched it at. not too bad at all. Since I pilot hold that, then I'll change drill bit. Get my grommet back again. The hardware that's supplied with it, and then that will leave the next spot for my punch. Then I could just slide this out of the way. And that's pretty much where my pod light's going to be. And then I just have the hole for the wiring to go through there. Let's again do a little pilot hole. Then I just get a step bit and I'll run that up through. One thing I did do is in this bushing, there's grooves. That way you can run your wiring out whatever way you want to. So I'm just for a clean appearance, I'm going to push them all forward. I'll keep them all on the inside of the fender, so this way when you look up you won't see them. And then all I'll do is just run my wire up through. I see why a lot of guys put these on their plastic liners, because it is a lot easier. And if you're doing this in metal, just make sure you're not scraping your wiring, or make sure you have a coating, a protective coating over your wiring. Then once I get it in place like so, I'll just leave my excess wire hang down like this. This way that will keep it taut. I'll get my hardware once again. And try not to drop it like that. And these just so happen to be an Allen head with a nut on the back. Now that your pod light's on, I got 7 more of these to do, which I'm not going to bore you with the 7 of them. But once the wiring's here like this, I'm going to show you guys an easy way on how I get my wiring up and over the wheel well, because I don't have the liners, and it's a good tip. So once I get the other pod light on this rear wheel well, then I'm going to show you how I run the wiring up and over, and then I'll install the rest of them and we'll come back. So how do I get the wire from this pod light over to the front, because I want all the wires coming out to the front of the wheel well, because I do not have the plastic tub liners in here. And now I can see why guys like screwing these to their plastic tub liners, because all they got to do is throw the wiring over the tub, put the liner up there, and the wire's already over the side, and then they could go about their routing. But I found the easiest way to run wiring like this, and even along the frame or anything like that, is use a bicycle cable. And here is a bicycle brake cable that we have, and all I'm going to do is take the end of this pod light, and I'm just going to tape it to this end, because trying to run the wire up and over, it's probably going to bunch up in there, and it's flimsy, and you don't know with the stake pockets if you're going to hit a stake pocket or not. So I found that the easiest way to do this, to run wiring, is with the wire. So I got a hold of a bicycle cable, a little bit of tape, and then I'll just fish the wire up through there. And after I'm finished here, what I'll do is I'll leave the green tape on this wire, so this way I know that the wire with the green tape on it is the one from the rear. So when I finish running my wiring, I could just label them. So now all I got to do is just fish this wire up and over, and be sure not to hit my wheel light. And I'll just keep fishing it up like so, and hopefully I'll see it come down the other side. And then here's the other end, and then now I can just finish fishing my cable up through and just making sure I'm out of any grooves, and it seems to be coming, and here it is. Now I'm just going to make sure all the wiring's laid up there nice. And there we have it. So that's what I do to run my wiring up and over, is I just attach it to a bicycle cable. That way you can send the cable down the frame rail or whatever you may need. I just have a green piece of tape on the end, which I'll take that off now. And then I'll just leave this tape on there, so this way I know which one it is. Once I get them all ran, then we'll come back and I'll show you where I placed them at on the front fenders. So I got the pod lights all installed on the wheel wells, so let me take you around and show you where I put them. And I did have well, there's a reasoning why I did the fronts the way I did. As you seen on the back on the install, I have them tucked up right there and right there. And then all I did, like you seen, was I ran my wiring up and over the wheel well, and to where both of them are just hanging right there. And then I'll finish running them. And then going up to the front, I also tucked them up high. There's one there, and then I put one right there. And what I wanted to do was, like on a lot of the other trucks that I've seen with the pod lights on there, they're kind of low, so when you actually see them. I wanted to hide mine some, so this way when you're standing level with the truck and this and that, you really don't see them until you squat down a little bit, and then you'll see the one. So I think I hid them pretty good. And then on the inside, what I had to do was, on the driver's side, was right here was my fuse box. And as you see it laying out here to the side, so I drilled up through the fender. I just cut off the excess bolts, but there's one here, and I have one back there is the other one. And then what I did was I covered my wiring with this cable cover, so this way it actually protects it from any shaping or rubbing that the truck may occur while moving or anything like that. And plus it gives it a nice clean appearance. And you won't see the black wiring. And I did the same exact thing on the other side, and the pod lights are in the exact same spot, so when you walk around the truck, it all matches and coincides, left side and the right side. And just follow some of these tips, they'll help you out. I do suggest that you cover your wiring, so this way if you guys are using it on a daily driver, so this way there's a lot of rubbing against the wheel well liners and your metal fender wells, and that will protect your wire from rubbing against the metal and getting bare and shorting out. And like you've seen, I used a bicycle cable, and you could use any cable or coat hanger if you need to fish your wires through like that. Well, I hope these tips and tricks help you guys out installing rock lights on your truck. But we will definitely come back and I will show you an update video of what the truck looks like with all the lights on, because I just got to finish running the wiring, hooking up the control box, and then we're going to plug it all in, and we'll come back to do that because running the wiring is going to be a little bit tedious and long, so I just wanted to cut this video out. But if you're new to the channel, hit that like, comment, subscribe button. Don't forget to ring that notification bell, and hopefully I'll see all you guys in the next one. Till next time, I'm Joe, driving trucks and hunting bucks is how I roll it. Wicked Fabz!